My glasses. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I don't know. I just like my all of a sudden Fran got really fuzzy and everything got really fuzzy. So some I don't know if it's my
Mm-hmm.
glasses or what, but this is Friday with Fran. And today our topic is really interesting, and we'll get into that in just a minute. Sleep, what's that? It's okay not to be okay. That was Fran's topic idea. And then my words are what she used as the description. So I am Shelly. I am not Fran. That's that's Fran. And we are so glad that you are here with us. So please let us know that you're with us with the hashtag live or a hashtag replay. If you're watching live, say hey, ask us a question, tell us where you're watching from, tell us something that's going on in your world. It's really cold here. Now, hold on. That's a relative thing because if we have anyone watching in Alaska, I know we're not as cold as you. But for us, this is cold. It's in the single digits. So, you already have
Mm.
a request to know. So let's get into our topic. It's okay not to be okay. Sleep, what's that? I think I just reversed those. But
That's
so,
okay.
so Fran, it's the $1,000,000 question. How are you?
How am I? Well, I'm functioning on very little sleep because when you and I finished texting, I did not sleep.
Ah,
And then I slept maybe around the clock. And then I've been up since then.
okay. So
So
yeah,
I'm not okay now.
yeah. This topic for today literally developed in the middle of the night. I could not sleep last night. And I had asked Fran to pray for something for me yesterday, and I didn't hadn't updated her on that after the event happened. And so I was like, well, I know Fran's sleep schedule is kind of weird, and she's usually up in the middle of the night, so I'm gonna message her. And I did, and then I asked if I woke her, and she was like, no, can't sleep. I was like, yeah, me either. So then we chatted for a while and we chatted about what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
So it was later in the middle of the night when we stopped chatting, and I didn't sleep great either. I did get more
I
sleep
know
than
you were
you.
posting and texting. I saw that.
Yeah. So it I did not sleep well either. And I probably very similarly to you have been on the go all day. Sometimes there physically, but not necessarily all there in present 100% in the situation mentally because of being tired.
Yeah.
And so, what I had said in the description that she wrote was sometimes when you don't get sleep, that makes you not okay. And sometimes when you're not okay, you don't sleep. So
And
she
sometimes
had
it's
asked me,
both at the same time.
yeah, because we're overachievers. So when you're
I
not
think we're slap
okay,
happy.
yeah, me too. And I'm not finished. Or do you get to rest when we're done with this?
No, I have physical therapy.
Yeah, I have another. Sorry, see, I have another call shortly after this is over. So,
Okay.
but then after that, I can rest. How about you? After physical therapy, are you finished?
No, I have something else to do then.
Okay.
I'm going till I think I should be sleeping,
Okay. Yeah.
theoretically.
Right. Because normally, for anyone who's watching who's not watched before, Fran has an unusual sleep schedule. She sleeps kind of in the evening time, and then she's awake. That's just how her body functions normally. So um,
But I've
that's
been, see,
that.
the whole thing was I've been trying to move my sleep schedule to more line up with more what other people have so that when I'm productive is when other people are productive.
Why?
Um, because there are times I need to do stuff with other people and they're not awake, or they need me to do stuff and it's my sleep time. So
Mhm.
it's kind of counterproductive. So it's not that I feel like I have to be like everyone else, it's to collaborate with other people. I need to have similar schedule in some ways. So I should not be
Right.
sleeping when people are eating supper.
Okay. If that's what you
Or
need to do. Yeah.
well,
I
or
mean,
if
you
you
can.
miss your if I miss my sleep time,
Uh-huh.
then it kicks me into I don't sleep at all.
Right.
So if I'm up and about and I miss sleep time at supper time, then I then don't sleep again till supper time again or till my body
That's not,
crashes.
that doesn't seem like it's good either.
No, so that's another reason I've been trying to revamp, but it's not going so hot. So, but that's okay. It's all a process.
It is. So when you're not okay, can you explain what you mean by that? Because I think it means different things to different people.
Um, for me, not okay um, is a lot of mental. It's when my innards um, are at unrest, and so that is when I'm not okay because my body, I'm used to it failing, I'm used to it hurting, so that's just par for the course. But it's when I can't still my inner being that I'm not okay. How about you?
It can be either, actually. For me, today, it is the mental. Um, I had a pretty uh, potentially contentious meeting with a client yesterday. And so I was preparing for that for several days ahead of time, getting all of my ducks in a row, so to speak.
Hmm.
And then leading up to the meeting yesterday, I was very concerned, and I was in prayer most of my day leading up to the meeting.
Hmm.
And then the meeting itself happened, and I had peace. It did get contentious, but I still had peace. So that part was good. I wasn't mentally not okay during the meeting, but then after the meeting, like last night when I tried to go to bed, then my brain went, oh, like literally my head hit the pillow and my brain goes, oh, it's time to be on now. And
Hmm.
so then I started analyzing, which is my personality. I usually don't get too nervous about things ahead of time. It's after they're over that I really
Okay.
start to think about them and think, oh, well, what did I say here? And should I have said this? And oh, did I do that? And should I have done that? And because I think what I'm doing beforehand is I'm using all of that, what I'm probably doing to actually prepare me to practice or to research or to, because I used to sing in church. And so, like, that's where the practice would come in. If I started to
Hmm.
get nervous, I would just go practice more.
Got it.
Um, but yeah, now for these meetings, it's like, okay, well, let's research, let's reach out to this person and that person. And I had a unique experience. The little squirrel here, just a second. So I'm going to hold on to that one. And so yeah,
Hmm.
then it's afterwards where my brain goes, oh well, how did they react when I said this? And oh, maybe I should have said that, or oh, I wished I would have come back with this zinger, you know?
Hmm.
So that's what my brain did last night when I hit the pillow.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's hence why we had lots of chipmunk and squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I had there were good things. Can I talk about the good things that happened yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. So I was talking to my daughter, and this was before the meeting, and I was really anxious, for lack of a better term. And she's kind of not big into hugging anymore. She's
Hmm.
22. She's kind of also like a little sensory when it comes to that. Sometimes, like, it's just too much sometimes. And so she was willing to hug me and to talk with me. And then she was telling me how the night before she hadn't slept well, and that she was using some of the strategies that I had taught her when she was littler to
Oh,
try to
okay.
help her sleep. So that was a nice moment. And then during the meeting, there were some things that happened that I think some people's uh, agendas came out, and those were not the good agendas.
Mm-hmm.
The outcome of the meeting was not what I thought would be the outcome of the meeting, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to for my client. But I think there's a bigger picture happening. Because of that peace that I had, I think God is doing something with what happened at the meeting. And so, even though it didn't go the way that we wanted, I think there's more going on that I am not aware of right now, if that
Got it.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it talks in the Bible about his ways are higher than our ways and his
Mm-hmm.
thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And so I think that's what's going on. I just have this peace. Like, this is the kind of meeting where in the past I would be so angry about because of all the things that didn't happen that should
Right.
have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. I'm just like, God, you've got a bigger plan for this meeting and for what happened. Um, and they allowed me to pray before the meeting, which I don't always ask that. But knowing that there was the potential for this meeting to be contentious, I asked, and there was hesitation, but they still went ahead and let me pray. So that was a good thing. Um, and then the thing that I just did that for a few minutes ago is someone that I had worked with previously that I didn't necessarily know if they were on board with, uh, meaning I'm not sure that while we were in the same field that they saw things the same way that I saw them. Um, she thanked me. I was texting her and asking her some questions last night. And at the end of the conversation, I thanked her for the information that she had given me. And she thanked me for what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
Cool.
I was like, wait, what? And I mean, I read the text over and over and over because I kept thinking, I'm not reading this right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is somebody that you and I know personally.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
um, yeah, it was a
So
little
you
overwhelming
cool.
almost.
So even though you weren't okay, you were okay.
There were moments that, yeah, were yeah. I mean, my exactly. I wasn't okay, but I was okay. But it's okay not to be okay.
It
You
is.
know, it's
But we sometimes it's so hard to be
oh
comfortable being unokay.
yeah,
Like I'm unokay right now, but I'm trying to
right.
be comfortable in that.
And I don't even know that you have to be comfortable necessarily, but to know that it's just a because I the reason I'm saying I'm not sure comfortable is the right word because you can get complacent in being not okay and you can stay that way. And so that's where I'm a little not wanting to use the word comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
because it's okay that we're uncomfortable sometimes. That's how we grow. I mean, when you think about a seed and how it has to be uncomfortable to come out of the seed and go through the ground and then burst up through the ground, or you think about the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
None of that stuff is comfortable, but I think it's just part of our growth. So understanding that it's part of the growth process, I'm comfortable there. Does that explain more of my thinking and make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Oh, I apologize. My phone's ringing. Oh, and it's spam. Yay!
so so I was just trying to think about okay, and then I'm thinking about sleep or the lack thereof. And how are some ways to help us sleep? What are
Well,
some things that you do to help you sleep when you can't sleep?
you asked me that question last night, and I think we have talked about this somewhat before. And so
Have
we
we?
were asking, I thought, I don't know. I thought we had. Maybe it wasn't sleep. Maybe it was more like when you get nervous or something. I'm not sure. But um, so the thing that I told you to do or suggested to you that you do is to journal, because I know it's not my thing to do. But I know that there is science behind journaling and just getting things out of your mind and telling yourself, I'll deal with that tomorrow. But I'm not a writer. I know that's weird because I'm an author, but I'm not.
Yes, I can't journal. I've
Yeah.
never been able to,
I
though
have
I write
started,
things.
yeah, I have started journals multiple times. I've never gotten through a whole one.
Hmm.
Um, and so then I said, well, what about sketching how you're feeling or what you want to be thinking about? And I don't think you answered me. I don't remember if you did.
No, I don't think I answered that one.
Um, and for me, in the middle of the night, I can't do that kind of stuff because my husband's right next to me. So if I have to turn on a light in order to be able to journal or, to draw something, that light may disturb him.
Could you do it
So
on your phone?
I I could, well, I don't have any drawing apps. I mean, I guess I could type the stuff out. Um I typically don't like to have lights on at all when I'm next to him because I'm always thinking it's going to wake him up. He tells me it doesn't, but um,
Because you mentioned that you chose sometimes you play games on your phone.
right. So that's what I do before I fall asleep usually.
Oh,
So
okay.
like he and I will both do things on our phones, like for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we turn them off. And but we're already in bed and we're already comfortable, and so um, but that is what I ended up doing. I had eventually moved because I was just about asleep. I had worked really hard to get my brain to turn off, and I was just about asleep. And then I remembered I needed to do something for two of his coworkers that I hadn't done. And I
Hmm.
thought, if I don't get up and do it right now, I'm not going to get up in
What
time
if you
before.
had written it down and then could have gotten up and done it? Would
Um, maybe,
Because I have a
but
friend
again,
that says to do that to put it down on paper and then you can sleep and then deal with it.
right. But I didn't have anything to write with. So again, it would have been turning the light on my phone and typing it into myself, which I have text myself messages in the past, but
Hmm. I like
um,
what your mom wrote.
and yeah, this is actually what Violet did the night before. She was going through and she was thanking God for all of the people in her life. So I go through my prayer list, and sometimes I only get halfway through before I go to sleep. The strange thing is, if I wake up again, I start where I left off. Yeah, I have most certainly done that a couple of times. Um, okay, so it nothing like I said, it was really difficult last night to be able to do that. I started to do that, and then that's kind of when I went, oh no, I need to go get this stuff ready for
Hmm.
his coworkers. And so then I got up out of bed and I went and did that, and then it was like, okay, now we're wide awake again.
Got it. Yeah.
So do you
So I
need us
had
to
a
say,
very productive night.
okay, what did you do?
I worked on the manual for church on how to live stream. I
Oh,
finished it
nice.
up. It is N pages long,
Wow.
with graphic, like illustrations for parts of the soundboard and different things. So
Wow. So for anyone
fun.
who doesn't know Fran's way of speaking numbers, n equals 15. That's a pretty long
So
manual too, but I'm sure it's extremely thorough. Knowing you, I know it's extremely thorough and detailed, and that, and that's the way to do those kinds of things, because you never know who's going to pick it up and read it and what their experiences are.
see, that's the front
Nice.
page, and it just keeps going. So
Very cool.
yeah, because you know why I did that? because I'm going to be having surgery.
You are.
Hmm.
One very soon, and then another one later on in the year.
And so, and and I normally am the one that does that part of our church service. So I wanted it to be able to continue in case I couldn't do it following my surgery. But I think I should be able to.
I I don't know if you'll be able to do it like the first week, but I think the B time after surgery, I think you probably will be able to do some of it.
Hmm.
I don't know if you'll still, I mean, I don't know how high you have to hold your arm up on the table to
Well,
move
I
all of
wouldn't
the
be able
things.
to use that arm. I'd have to do the other arm.
Right.
So,
Oh, you don't have to do two hands at all ever?
well, you're supposed to, but I would do something else, and someone
Oh,
else would
okay.
maybe do the part. Anyway, um, so I think due to my not being okay and lack of sleep, I may have to make this a short one today, Shelley. I'm sorry.
No, that is perfectly fine. I'm sorry that it's not that you're all well today, but we understand that. And this is a good example of doing what we preach, which is if you need to take time, take time. So, you want to wrap up right now?
So, sleep, what's that? We'll have to revisit that again. And we're not okay, but it's okay.
Right. It's okay not to be okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone who joined us. If you're watching in the replay, let us know and let us know how you deal with those nights when you can't sleep. And we will hopefully see you next week. Fran's surgery is before our episode next week. If you're a praying person, please pray for her. If you're just a good thoughts person, send good thoughts her way. And we will hopefully be back here next Friday. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye.